Hello once again and welcome to CSIT 208, Multimedia and Web Design. And this is our third session, Web Publishing Fundamentals. In this session, you're going to learn about the advantages of web publishing and discover the basic design principles behind publishing a successful website, the special requirements for writing for the web, and the effective use of color as a design tool is also introduced. Finally, you will learn about the technical, legal, privacy, accessibility, and usability issues surrounding web publishing. After completing this session, students should be able to do the following: describe the advantages of web publishing. Students should also be able to discuss basic web design principles. Students should be able to define the requirements for writing for the web, be able to explain the use of color as a web design tool, and then identify web publishing issues. Outline for the session. We are going to be talking about the advantages of web publishing first, followed by the basic web design principles, writing for the web, color as a web design tool, and finally we talk about web publishing issues. As mentioned before in our previous sessions, we are going to find the information for this session in the recommended text for this course, and we are going to find it in the second chapter. At the end of the slide, we will present to you the reading material. Advantages of web publishing. The currency advantage. Being able to display the most up-to-date information, getting updated information to end users is easier through a website, and therefore we can be sure that the most current and up-to-date information can be found on the website as opposed to something like print publishing. Interactivity advantage. Users are able to interact with websites, call to action buttons, two-way communications, and contact information readily available on the website. You cannot have this with regular print publishing. The delivery advantage. To disseminate information to a group of people, it is fastest to use the web since you are able to cover more ground in less time. Once the website is published, it can be accessed by anybody throughout the globe, so delivery is fast and convenient. We talk about basic web design principles next. Both print publication and web pages should be visually attractive, convey a powerful message, and leave a distinct impression. Successful publications, including web pages, that accomplish these objectives combine creativity with the basic design principles. Now, these are the design principles. We have balance and proximity, contrast and focus. We have unity and visual identity. We take each one of them. For the principles of web design, as we said, from the perspective of web design, balance is the harmonious arrangement of elements. Balance, or the absence of balance, can significantly affect the effectiveness of a web page to express its message. A symmetric arrangement of a web element is centered or balanced and suggests a conservative, safe, and peaceful atmosphere. Proximity or closeness is strongly associated with balance. Proximity as applied to web pages means that you should place elements that have relationships close to each other. Contrast. This is the mix of elements to simulate attention. Contrast is a mix of elements to stimulate attention. Contrast also establishes focus, the center of interest or activity. A web page needs a focal point, which is a dominating segment of the web page to which visitors' attention will be drawn. What do you want your website's visitors to focus on and to remember? Is it a company name, a tagline, a logo, a powerful photo, or some combination of these? Determine first what element on your web page is the most important, and then use contrast to establish that dominance visually. Pages without contrast, such as those made up of solid block of text or a jumble of competing elements, will draw little interest. You can create contrast by using text styles, color choices, element sizes, and more. Unity and visual identity. All the pages at a website must have unity, or a sense of oneness or belonging, to create and maintain the site's visual identity, the combination of design elements identified with the site and its publisher. Creating and maintaining a visual identity is an important aspect of branding a business or organization. A general definition of the term brand is the assurance or guarantee that a business or organization offers to its customers. Alignment is the placement of objects in fixed or predetermined positions, rows or columns. Focusing on alignment will ensure that your web pages have a consistent, structured presentation. Writing for the web. In general, when writing for the web, use language that is straightforward, contemporary, and geared towards educated audience. Avoid overly promotional language that might not appeal to visitors, and avoid the use of industry jargon or slang. Use wording in headings that clearly communicate the content of the web page or section. Overly cute or clever headings might confuse or annoy some visitors. We also need accuracy and consistency in writing for the web. When collecting content for your website, confirm its accuracy using reliable resources. Refer to respected subject experts, professionals, organizations, trade journals, and other resources with proven track record. Typographical and spelling errors can embarrass you and diminish your website's credibility. If you publish your web pages with such errors, your visitors might question how closely you checked your content and how committed you are to your purpose if you do not take the time to prevent these errors. Scannability. Most website visitors prefer to quickly scan web pages for useful information, not read too long passages of on-screen text. Web page text should therefore be broken into small sections with headings, subheadings, and bulleted lists that are written to adequately but concisely cover the topic. Organization. The inverted pyramid style is a classic news writing style that places a summary or conclusion first, followed by details and then any background information. On the web, the spirit of the inverted pyramid style is followed by placing summary chunk text on home page and adding links to subsidiary pages containing related details and background information. Color as a web design tool is the next thing we are going to look at. Color can be a powerful design tool for creating attractive, effective websites. To use color as a design tool effectively, you must understand color basics, the color wheel, how monitors display colors, and visitors' expectation for color on the web. For the primary colors, we have red, yellow, and blue. And for secondary colors, we have orange, green, and purple. Now, the secondary colors are obtained by mixing the primary colors. For example, when we mix red with yellow, we have orange. When we mix yellow and blue, we have green. And when we mix red and blue, we have purple. The RGB system, that is the red, green, blue system. Computer monitors project color using the RGB color system, which combines channels of red, green, and blue light. The light from each channel can be emitted in various levels of intensity. These levels are called values and are measured from 0 to 255. When values from the channel are combined, different colors result. For example, combining values 255 red, 102 green, and 153 blue produces a dusty rose color. The hexadecimal system uses 16 symbols, the letters A to F and the digits 0 to 9 to signify values. For example, the hexadecimal color code for dusty rose color with the RGB values of 255, 102, 153 is FF6699, with the first two characters representing the intensity of red, the next two, which is the middle two, representing the intensity of green, and then the last two, which is the final two, representing the intensity of blue. Web publishing issues. Successful web publishing further includes recognizing certain technical, legal, ethical, accessibility, and usability issues, as well as the design techniques that can effectively manage them. Some of the technical issues you need to consider include bandwidth. How much bandwidth must the user have to be able to have the best form of experience when he visits your website? Browser compatibility, as we mentioned in our first session. How does your website display across multiple browsers? And how does the person viewing your website's monitor resolution affect how your website looks? We also look at legal and ethical issues, specifically privacy issues. Example, when you have an image that you get off the internet, are you allowed to use it just like that for your website? No, you need to have permission to use those images. Accessibility and usability issues. Print publishing deservedly has been a time-honored trusted communication method. Even so, print cannot match the benefits of the web for the current interactive content and for efficient, cost-effective production and distribution of information. Web and print publications are similar in intent to deliver a powerful message and leave a distinct impression. Achieving these objectives using web publications require combining creativity with the fundamental design principles of balance, proximity, contrast and focus, and visual identity and unity, as we have mentioned earlier. Website visitors quickly want to find accurate, easily read, well-organized, and concise information that they can use. Writing content for these attributes require applying specific techniques. Color can powerfully enhance a website's message and personality. Persuasive, effective color use involves being aware of established color principles and convention. Now, successful web publishing further includes recognized certain technical, legal, privacy, accessibility, and usability issues, and applying these design techniques can manage them effectively. Now, as I mentioned from the beginning of the session, we have the reference material for this course, being the Web Design Introductory Concepts and Techniques, 3rd edition, 2008.